Hello, my name is Anna and I love trying vintage recipes. So today I'm trying 3 salad recipes from the 1980s. Today's recipes come to us from McCall's Salads and Salad Dressings. This book was published in 1985 and I'll talk more about it a little bit later. This book was a gift from my friend and fellow cookbook lover, Tommy, to add to my collection. You know, salads are something that you can eat year round, of course you can, but I really think they shine in the summer. The temperatures are climbing, you don't want to turn on your stove, so putting together a nice cold salad is something that you can do just to kind of like beat the heat in your kitchen. As I am recording this today here in Ohio, it is 85 degrees. That does not sound like a lot to some of you, but let me tell you, I start to melt in those temperatures. I wouldn't do well. I wouldn't do well in hotter climates. Anyway, I decided to choose 3 different types of salad recipes. I have a vegetable side salad, I have a salad dressing for fruit, and then I have a main dish salad with some heartier ingredients that you can eat for the main part of your meal. I'm making a cucumber salad, sliced cucumbers and yogurt with fresh mint, in fact. During the summer, I love making different kinds of cucumber salads. I usually throw a cucumber to the grocery cart probably every other week and I try out different ones. A lot of times I'll make refrigerator pickles or I'll do like a sour cream and cucumber salad. This one features plain yogurt and fresh mint. So the first step is to lightly toss cucumber with salt and chill well. So I've done that. I went ahead and sliced up my cucumbers. I chose to use an English cucumber because I wanted to. You can eat all of the peel with an English cucumber, but I did little stripes. So I did peel some little stripes away, but that's the kind of cucumber I like. That's the kind I'm gonna use. So basically, you know, you just have your sliced cucumbers, you sprinkle some salt on the cucumbers, toss that well, cover and refrigerate. And what the salt does is it causes the cucumbers to give up some moisture. So I did that, I went ahead and drained these and we're ready to move on to the yogurt dressing. So it says, meanwhile, combine yogurt, remaining salt, the onion, sugar, and pepper. Okay, let's get a spatula. I somehow forgot to grab one. Some plain low-fat yogurt, not Greek yogurt. I got plain low-fat yogurt. Let me tell you, it was not the easiest to find. I had to buy a big carton of it. I would say like a good portion of the yogurt that stores stock now is Greek yogurt. You might be able to find that, or I was able to find a big carton of plain yogurt that I now have to use up with something else. Just got the rest of my salt, some finely diced onion. I have a bit of sugar and some pepper. I also have my fresh mint, which now I'm looking. I don't need this right away. This is to garnish at the end, so that'll come in a little bit later. I'm just gonna mix all of this together. I'm trying to get as many lumps out of here as I can. Let's bring those cucumbers back in. I did drain these. If I didn't mention that already, maybe I did. I did drain some of the liquid from these, as directed in the recipe. So now I need to add my yogurt mixture to the cucumbers and just toss all of that together. So I actually have to chill this for at least 2 hours. I think this is gonna be one of those times when I put this in the refrigerator and then I come back tomorrow to give it a taste. Got my yogurt, mint, cucumber. I think it's just sliced cucumbers and yogurt and mint salad. Had to grab a fork on my way over. It is the next day. This has been in the refrigerator for not quite 24 hours, but pretty close. I've had a lot of cucumber salads that are made with like sour cream. You know, I make those pretty frequently. This is the first one with yogurt. Let's make sure that I get a little mint in this bite though. Yes, okay. I'm gonna go drink water, one moment. Refreshing. That is what this is, because cucumbers are they're refreshing by themselves. You know, they're watery, they're cool, they're crispy, but then you add that mint to it and that is like a punch of that minty flavor. It kind of like supports the coolness and the crispiness of the cucumbers. The salt, essential. I think salting the cucumbers before was a good way to go. A lot of times in the cucumber salads that I normally make, you just add a little salt to the dressing or just to it and you just mix it up. I think the next time I make my regular cucumber salad, I am gonna try to like salt the cucumbers and let them sit for a little bit beforehand, because I think that really changed it a little bit texture-wise, but then like flavor-wise, it gave time for that salt to really like sink in. This is cool, this is crispy, this is refreshing. I think it makes a great little side dish for the summer. Something that you can make ahead of time and just keep in your fridge. I'm going to try out this honey lime dressing, and this is a creamy dressing and it says that it's great with fruit, so that's how I'm gonna try it. So here we are with another recipe that says in small bowl, combine all ingredients well. Okay, So all of the ingredients. I have some mayonnaise. Yes, mayonnaise. I've tried another fruit salad dressing. I think it was called peanut mallow dressing that also had mayonnaise in it and you ate it with fruit. I have some honey and I am cutting this recipe in half. I'm making a smaller quantity. The full recipe makes 2.5 cups. I just didn't need that much. I did oil this measuring cup a little bit before I added the honey so that the honey would mostly come out on its own, and it did. You can also use cooking spray for that. I have some lime juice, and I actually think I'm gonna whisk these 3 things together before I come in with the final ingredient, just to get those incorporated. I think this whole thing will go a little bit more smoothly if I do it that way. Still made kind of a lot. And I don't even have all of the ingredients in here yet, so we've got 1 more to go. And that final ingredient is whipped cream. So the whipped cream, it is not sweetened, it is plain. The recipe says 1 cup heavy cream, comma, whipped. So that's what I did. I just took my 1/2 cup of heavy cream, because I am cutting this recipe in half, and I just whipped it. You know, I refrigerated this bowl beforehand. I refrigerated my wire whisks beforehand. With my hand mixer, this took about 2 minutes. This is not whipped cream as you would think of, you know, maybe putting on top of a pie or a cake or something like that. It is plain, it is unsweetened. And when you're reading recipes in general, I think it's very important to note what it says, where the commas are placed, or exactly what it says. So if it had said 1 cup of whipped cream, then you know, you'd make whipped cream and then measure out a cup and then put it in there. But it said 1 cup of cream, heavy cream, whipped. So that's a different thing. Let's see if we fold it. I don't think this is meant to be super duper fluffy. I think they want a little bit of lightness in here because I whipped the cream. You know, why would I whip the cream? That's not what they wanted. Yeah, it is kind of like a lighter feel. I can't believe how much this made so much more than I anticipated. So hope I like it. Anyway, I'm gonna refrigerate this and prep a little bit of fruit and then I'll give it a taste. I just have some grapes and strawberries here that I've cut up. Then I drizzled some of the dressing on top. It didn't say if I should coat the fruit with it, toss the fruit in the dressing. It just says delicious on fruit salad. So this is a fruit salad for me. Let's see how it is. I'm gonna try it with strawberry first. Okay, it is sweet. You can definitely taste the honey. There's like a very specific creaminess to it from the mayonnaise. I'm not like totally sure that if you gave this to someone and didn't tell them there was mayonnaise in it, I don't know if they would know for sure. Maybe they would. It tastes pretty good. The combination of everything does taste good together. I'm gonna try it with a grape. I don't think the strawberries I have are very, very sweet. So the grapes are a little bit sweeter, I think. Okay, with the grape, the honey flavor is like intensified, I think, with maybe the sweeter fruit. It tastes good. It does remind me a little bit of that peanut mallow dressing I made. And that consisted, if I can remember, it was a long time ago. It was like mayonnaise, marshmallow cream, and peanut butter, maybe some other things. But it has that sort of like, it's like the texture of it is very smooth and creamy from the mayonnaise. And then there's just, I'm trying to like put my finger on it. It's maybe like a little bit of the tartness from the lemon juice, but also the vinegar that's in the mayonnaise, you can kind of taste. So it also, in a way, not fully, kind of reminds me of that magic mayonnaise that I made it was like made with sweetened condensed milk. This is not as sweet as that, but it kind of like heads in that direction a little bit. Kind of like, almost like a very light, fluffy, lightly sweetened coleslaw dressing kind of, but it does work on the fruit, I will say that. This tuna and white bean salad comes to us from the main dish salads chapter. So it is a little bit more hearty with the ingredients. It would make a great lunch or dinner, I think. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. This recipe starts with some white kidney beans or cannellini beans. They're both the same thing, but I've drained those and I put them in a bowl. So now I have to add some red wine vinegar, some green onion, vegetable oil, a little bit of salt, and some pepper, and an ingredient that I've forgotten to prep. So I'll go ahead and do that and I'll reveal what it is in a second. It's parsley. I can't believe I forgot that. Just need to mix that together a little bit. Honestly, like I would just eat this as is with no additional ingredients, but I have to chill this for a couple of hours, let those beans marinate for a little while before I add the rest of the ingredients. And 2 hours later, and we're looking very much the same. I'll just let this marinate in the refrigerator, and now I just have to put the finishing touches on my tuna and white bean salad. So that means I need to add some tuna. Just kind of break that up a little bit. And then when I serve it up, I'm gonna garnish the top with a quartered hard-cooked egg. There is my tuna and white bean salad. Now I know some of you do not like tuna, and I know that because you tell me about it. So I don't do as many tuna recipes as maybe I once did, but I think this is gonna be a good one. So if you don't like tuna, avert your eyes because I'm gonna try this. You know, it said to quarter the egg. I could have cut it smaller. Okay, we're gonna try it though. We're gonna try to get a whole quarter with the beans and the tuna. That's good. I like all of those flavors together, I really do. I'm a bean fan, okay? I like beans, got lots of fiber, they got protein, and they're really good in the salad. All of these things with a little bit of a nice light vinaigrette would make a really good, you know, lunch to kind of make ahead of time. Take in a little container, eat in the park, eat on your patio. And there are like good varying textures in this too. You've got kind of like that meatiness of the tuna, and then, you know, the texture of the beans is really nice. It's kind of creamy, along with the egg yolk and the hard-cooked egg. McCall's Salads and Salad Dressings was published in 1985. And as I was flipping through it, I noticed some things. Things like this particular page. I thought, where have I seen this page before? Or things like this. This little line, this little illustration at the bottom of the page. Where have I seen these things? I've seen them here. This is a very common thing in all cookbooks, vintage cookbooks, you know, modern cookbooks that come from places like magazine publishing companies, Betty Crocker, Pillsbury, that kind of thing. Reusing recipes, reusing certain photographs or illustrations in other cookbooks. Super common. It happens a lot. I see it a lot. So remember that gay garnishes page? Here it is in this book. And this was published in the 60s. Let me just double check the year. This was 1965. And it's part of the, you know, the McCall series that I have. I used one of these books from this particular series for my St. Patrick's Day recipes. This is also part of a series. You can see in the upper corner, it says Volume 4. This one also says M4. They're not exactly the same. I did go through and double check. I was like, what is going on here? They do reuse some of the same recipes. There are also recipes that appear in this newer book that they have updated. So maybe it has the same or similar recipe title, but they've updated the ingredients a little bit or changed the amounts, things like that. So no, not exactly the same, but similar. They do share some of the same things. And I think that's just kind of charming. That actually leads me to something I've been wanting to touch on. Sometimes I get comments from people, possibly people who are new to my channel, and they get a little, I don't think upset's the word, maybe like annoyed with me when I say, today I'm trying 3 recipes from the 1960s or whatever, like that, you know, that kind of thing. And they say, well, this recipe is not from the 1960s. My mother used to make this recipe in the 1950s or the 1940s, or it was in this book from this other decade. So when I say, today I'm trying recipes from whatever decade, I'm not saying that those particular recipes were developed in that year or at that time. I'm not saying they were like invented during that year. I'm saying that they are coming out of a book that was published in a specific year. So that's what I mean. So I don't know. I don't know if that explanation is going to reach the people who would want to stay and watch my videos, but I just felt the need to kind of clarify that a little bit. I'm just a lady who tries recipes on the internet. It's not that serious. So talking about this lovely book with the beautiful green cover that came from my friend Tommy. I love this chef's hat on the front and this beautiful green salad, and you get a little taste at the bottom. It has like a whole list of what you're gonna expect from this cookbook. And then the index actually appears on the back instead of inside the book, just like this one. And you can see that this is part of the McCall's new cookbook collection. So that other one was from the old cookbook collection. I'm sure they didn't call it that. I know I keep coming back to this one, but there's one other thing I wanted to show you that I just thought was so funny. So this little guy right here looks eerily similar to this guy. They're not the same, but it's like the spirit is there. Okay. So this book has all kinds of salads, fruit salads, vegetable salads, meat salads, molded salads, gelatin salads, all the salads. And yes, of course, salads can be eaten year round. But in the summer, you often want something that's cool and refreshing, something that you maybe don't have to heat up your kitchen to cook. and maybe something that you can easily make ahead of time and then just eat right out of the refrigerator so that you can get back to your fun summer activities. This book delivers on that promise for sure. You get a lot of nice photographs in this book as well. And some of them, yes, are taken. Some of them are new, but some of them are taken from the older books. But there we have a nice potato salad. Looks like something you could take to a family function or picnic. Real old-fashioned potato salad is what that one is. The real stuff. We have curried chicken salad in avocado halves. Fancy summer buffet with a pineapple right in the middle. You're pulling out all the stops for this one. Avocado halves. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't think I'm gonna try to scoop an entire avocado half to make it, but they didn't either. It looks like they just left the peel on, which is what I would do too. Molded salads. Let's look at some molded salads. Oh, there's a 2-page spread right here. Look at all of those. On these 2 pages, we have molded coleslaw, molded potato salad, gazpacho, mold with sliced avocados, cucumber pineapple aspic, julienne beets in aspic, and avocado salad mold. Oh my gosh, what an extravaganza of molded salads. This one is pretty. This is the molded gazpacho. This is like a little bit of a better look, I think, than on the other page. It does look beautiful, but I think it's kind of deceptive because I look at that and I think that it's going to be like fruity, like cherry or cranberry or something. And it's definitely not. In addition to the photographs, we do have illustrations, and a lot of these like border kinds of illustrations were taken from some of the older books as well. I think they're so cute. Very eye-catching. There's a whole little section on just coleslaws. Last year, I was really having like a coleslaw moment where I was making like all these different ones. Standard coleslaw for me was always like mayonnaise, vinegar, sugar, like that dressing in whatever parts, maybe some other seasonings. I think my grandma used to put celery seed in hers, and then you would mix it with shredded cabbage, maybe some carrots. But you know, this one has all kinds of things like sour cream coleslaw, which I have tried, not this particular recipe, but I have tried one of those in a previous video. There is a corn and cabbage slaw. There's coleslaw with tomatoes. There's an apple cabbage slaw, which I was very tempted by that one. I'll show you the recipe up here on the top. But I was very tempted by the apple cabbage slaw because back when we lived in Chicago, there was this restaurant called Birchwood Kitchen that was not too far from our apartment. And they had this delicious like Granny Smith apple slaw. And it was just like a regular coleslaw, but it had, I don't know, the dressing was really good. And then it had thinly sliced Granny Smith like tart apples. And it was so delicious. So I almost made this one. Maybe I'll make this one in the future. But if you want coleslaw recipes, this book has them. We've got a couple of, I say a couple, there's several different ambrosia recipes in here. There's the ambrosia platter. That's mostly just a fruit plate. I'm not seeing like anything to go with that sauce-wise or anything like that. There's the ambrosia bowl. There's also Diane's ambrosia, which to me looks the closest to ambrosia, like the ambrosia salads that I have made. It has mandarin oranges, pineapple chunks, coconut, and heavy cream. And I'm guessing you probably, yeah, you beat the heavy cream and then you mix the fruit in. I've had ambrosia salads that involve whipped cream, but also sour cream. I know people are a little weird about that, but honestly, the 5-cup salad that I've made in the past, you don't notice, it just like complements the fruit really well. I promise. If you're on the fence, if you're thinking maybe you want to try it, but you're also a little scared to, give it a shot. Give it a shot with that sour cream and fruit. And I can put the recipe for ambrosia that I've made previously like in the description. So if you want to try it, you can. Let's talk about the recipes that I made today. I don't remember what they are, but we'll talk about them. Honey lime dressing. This is not the honey lime vinaigrette that you might be thinking of from Chipotle. That is a very different dressing. This is a creamy dressing, and it consists of mayonnaise, honey, heavy cream, and lime juice. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I could definitely taste the mayonnaise. I had one of my friends also sample it with some fruit, and she could also taste the mayonnaise in it. I don't know if that's because she's just used to trying my vintage recipes and she knows there might be mayonnaise in there, or if it's like definitely a prominent thing. Sometimes I wonder if my tastes have changed, or if like I can just like tell some of these things, some of these ingredients that will be in vintage recipes. But I think my favorite part of that, my favorite flavor that really came through was the honey. I grew up eating quite a lot of honey because my grandpa was a beekeeper, so I do love a good honey recipe. The fruit that I chose to have with it, I had grapes, and I had strawberries. So you could use it on some other things too. You could probably use it as a fruit dip as well. I don't know that I would make it again just because I have another fruit dip recipe that I really like. I wonder also if this would be a little bit different if you tossed the dressing with the fruit. I just kind of drizzled it on top and ate it that way. So, you know, it could possibly change things up a little bit if you mixed it in with the fruit, which I might try. I still have some of the dressing left. It tasted fine. I don't know if it's gonna go on one of my like top recipes lists though. So the second recipe I made was sliced cucumbers in yogurt with mint. That is a long recipe name and it is descriptive. It is exactly what it sounds like. I love cucumber salads. I mentioned earlier that usually during the summer I will buy cucumbers either every week or every other week, and I'll make them into something like refrigerator pickles, or I'll try one of the many cucumber salad recipes that are kind of like up in my favorites. And this was, you know, very similar to some of the sour cream cucumber salad recipes that I've made. I understand that plain yogurt is similar to sour cream, but I really liked the addition of mint in this one. It gave it like a nice freshness, I guess, like a nice cool freshness. And I also enjoyed the way that you salt the cucumbers before you add the dressing. So you salt the cucumbers, you drain a little liquid. I don't know, it gives them like a nice flavor, of course, like the seasoning like really permeates the cucumbers. And also it's nice and like cool and crunchy, I guess. A lot of times with the cucumber salads that I normally make, you would mix the salt in to like the dressing mixture. But with this, it really kind of like made sure that those cucumbers were well seasoned. Really enjoyed that. And then finally, from the main dish salad chapter, I tried the tuna and white bean salad. I think this might have been my favorite of the three. It really tasted like something that you would get from like a fancy deli. Like go to the expensive grocery store and get it at a fancy deli. For lunch today, I actually had the tuna and white bean salad and a dish of the cucumber salad. And both of those things together, like it was the perfect summer lunch, I think. So the tuna and white bean salad, very flavorful. I know some people don't care for beans, you know, maybe it's a texture thing, maybe it's a flavor thing, maybe they think they're bland, but the white beans with that red wine vinaigrette and then the parsley and the green onions and then, you know, putting the tuna in there as well, like it just, everything just kind of melded and made such a good flavor. For lunch today, I didn't have any more hard-cooked eggs. I was lazy. I didn't feel like making another one. I really liked the hard-cooked egg with the white bean salad. It's not absolutely necessary though. I think you could just mix all of that together, and if you're not feeling like having an egg in there, you don't have to. So good with, good without, either way. And let's face it, beans have a lot of fiber, and I'm just gonna say it, I don't think most people get enough fiber in their diet. So this was a great way to do that, to get protein, to get fiber, and to have a nice, cool summertime lunch. So do you have a favorite summer salad recipe? I'd love to hear about it, so please let me know in the comments. If you love cookbooks and recipes from the 1980s, I have an entire playlist and I'll link it in the description down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.